everybody, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be copying a Moriah Elizabeth creation. She got this box at the Dollar Tree in one of her videos where she was customizing a whole bunch of stuff from the Dollar Tree. And I went to the Dollar Tree and I found that box and I picked it up so that I could paint it. I'm going to be doing the same exact design as she did, as closely as possible. So let's get on with that. So this is the box I was talking about in my intro. It is a pineapple box. It is plain and wooden, and I believe it is made so that it can be customized. That's why it's so plain. It's a really cute box, but I'm going to turn it into the character gEoRGie from Moriah Elizabeth, just as she did. So the first matter at hand is to take off the sticker on the bottom. Dollar Tree stickers normally are really sticky and really hard to peel off, so that's why I was so happy when this sticker peeled off in like 2 seconds. Hallelujah. So I was so happy with that, got that out of the way. I bought this planner a while ago and I tried to peel the sticker off and it got so scratched you can't really see it on camera, but it's pretty damaged. Alright. So now it's time to break out the clay because I'm going to try to round off that Statue of Liberty thing that's going on up there. That's actually supposed to be the leaves on gEoRGie, but he has rounded leaves and he has 5, not 4. So I'm going to go ahead and use some Model Magic just to shape them as I want them. Moriah Elizabeth shaped hers differently than how her character, the original character gEoRGie, had it. But I really wanted it to be how the original gEoRGie had it, so I changed it a little bit. This is not going to be the exact same thing that she has, but it's going to be very similar. Okay, so I'm just speeding through this footage, that way you don't have to watch me doing this for the rest of your life. That's the power of editing. I used my dotting tool to try to fix up some of the cracks that I had, and then I started wrapping the clay around to the back to help keep it on there. Okay, so now I want to try to cut off this back piece because I don't want to have to do the clay all over again, and I think it'll look better. Moriah Elizabeth did not do this, but I think that it'll just make this so much better. So like I said, it's not going to be exact, but I'm going to make it as similar as I can to hers while making me still like it. Okay, so I managed to cut off the back with minimal damage to the clay, and I think it turned out really good and I am very happy with it. My dad cut it a little bit farther away from the line I wanted, and then I sanded it down to correct. So now it's time to paint. So I'm going to bring out this white paint and some yellow paint. That way I can create a nice pastel yellow for my gEoRGie. Okay, so now I am wiping off the excess white that I got on the brush. And now I'm realizing that this is the perfect opportunity to do my thumbnail. So I'm clearing off my space a little bit, and I was just about to paint, and then this is when I realized, wait, I should do my thumbnail. So I stopped, and I squeezed a little tiny amount of paint onto the box, and I'm just going to do like the classic thumbnail that everyone does these days. Just cleaning up my area a little bit, that way it'll look best. That's the classic thumbnail right there, so that's perfect. I'm just going to scrape out that paint, and I will use it later. Don't worry, it's not a waste. I would not have done this if I knew I wasn't going to use it. You will see what I use it for later. So now I'm going into the pastel yellow and painting. Because I didn't get to scrape off all that dark yellow, it didn't turn out as pastel as I would have liked. So I do adjust the color like 2 or 3 times later on. Alright, so now that it's dried, I'm thinking it should be pasteler. So I'm going to get a little bit more white paint and I'm going to add it to the yellow to make it even more pastel. Okay, now I'm applying this color and it looks much better. Okay, so now it's time to bring in some colors for the green leaves. So the color she has is a very bluey pastel green. So I have like a forest green and then some blue and then some lime green and then some white to try to cook up the color she used. But it was not perfect, that's for sure. Okay, so now I have that painted and it's pretty good. But I did mess up on a few areas where the yellow is. But now that I lightened the color up a little bit on the green again, I'm going to go back in and change the color once again for the yellow and make it even more pastel. So I looked at the picture and it's basically white. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and paint the sides and the bottom and making sure to get the rim too. Okay, so now I'm cooking up some more of the light yellow because I ran out, and I'm adding a second coat to the sides, but then I realized it was too dark, so I had to add another coat with a lighter color. Okay, so now I just sketched on the design of the face, and isn't he so cute? I also realized I have to do the lines across, and I forgot to do that. So this is where that yellow paint from before is going to come in, that I scraped off from the thumbnail. I'm going to use that color for the lines. I think it was a little bit too dark, but I ended up using it and just going over with like a paintbrush with a little bit of the light yellow on top of it, and it changed it up a little bit later. So I'm adding the lines, and because I used the dotting tool, it doesn't give perfect like smoothness. This was very lumpy, and that's the only thing I don't like about this box. I kind of actually hate those lines. I wish I didn't have them because they're so lumpy, it kind of looks gross. And now the lights turned off because I forgot I was filming and I left the room and then I turned it off later. Now I'm going to paint the back and the rim. She painted her orange, but I thought it would look better with yellow, so I did that. Like I said, it's not going to be the exact same as hers. Okay, so now it's time to go in with some brown and go in for the eyes. I used this dark brown, but later I adjusted it to a little bit of lighter brown. Now I'm adding in the details of the beak and the feet with my Posca pens. And so we're getting down to the wire here. We're almost done. So now I'm adding a second coat and changing up the color of the feet and the top of the beak because I ended up using the wrong color. So I changed it to this more orangey tan. Now I'm going over it multiple times and picking up some mistakes I had, and it's starting to look pretty good. I'm adding a second coat to the eyes as well. I'm going to go in with some brown details for the arms and the outlines and everything. I also changed the colors of the eyes, as you can see. Now I'm going to go in with the green to add the details to the leaves. There we go, it's looking pretty good. I'm so happy with the results so far, other than those lines. Now I'm gonna add some white detailing. I started to do it, but then I needed to look at the picture, so I made this really cool transition. Wasn't the best, but still pretty cool. Okay, so now he's basically done. Now all I need to do is I need to add a clear coat with this gloss Mod Podge. So I'm just adding, I think I added 2 nice thick coats of that to every single inch of this box. I had plenty of footage of me adding the clear coat, but I didn't add all of it for your sake because that would be really boring. Just adding the clear coat to the back as well to make sure everything is protected. And now he's done. I used him to store my pencils and my scissors and everything, and I'm so happy with him. He's so cute and he looks just like hers. I love it.